Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my channel Learn Math with Sayyid Ali. So we were doing with radicals and square roots. So square root is related to the square or the perfect square of the numbers, and we learned few things in the last lecture. Here in this example or in this lesson, we will be solving the question which says find the area and dimensions of each shape. So we will solve these two questions one by one. So in the first question or figure 1, we have here, we have to find out this shape. This is a square and formed by a rectangle. So I can see that the rectangle is here. This is my rectangle formed by a rectangle, two small squares. So these two small squares, these are the two small squares, and a big square, and this is the big square. So that means question is saying that this figure is formed by a rectangle, two small squares, and one big square. We have to calculate all of these areas, which is saying a complete area of this figure, and two small squares, a rectangle, and the square. So all of the areas we have to determine, because question says find the area and dimensions of each shape. Only one thing is given. Area of the small square is given, which is 9 centimeter square. So here we have to think that if the area of the small square is given, this is a square, and this area is given as 9 cm square. 9 centimeter square is the area, is equals to area. And we know that area is equals to side times side. That means side times side is s square, and the area is given as 9. So s is equals to under the root 9, which is equals to plus minus 3. But for the sake of like mathematical expressions, we only keep it as 3. So this small square whose area is given in my question is 9 centimeter square, which gives me the side of this square is 3. That means this is 3 and this is 3. This much we know or we calculate because the area of this small square is given. Now if we can see this picture or this figure, it has two equal squares. That means the other square is also of the same dimension, which is 3, and the rest of the thing is also equally divided. That means this is also 3. That means this whole side of this square is 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is 9. So I find out actually this whole dimension of this square is 9 cm. So it's just by thinking, right? And you have to see the figure clearly, and then you have to analyze this as I am doing this for you. So area of the small square is 9 cm square. Area is equals to side into side of any square, right? This is my small square. So s square is equals to 9. S is equals to 3. So this side 3 telling me that this is 3 plus 3 plus 3. So whole side is 9. So this square has got every side as 9. So this is also 9. And if 9 minus 3, what is this side? If this whole thing is 9 cm, right? And this 3 is small square, so this remaining thing is 6. And since it is a square, that means both sides should be equal. So this big square is having a side of 6 centimeter. So now, since we have calculated all the dimensions of this shape, now we can have all those things which is required. What is required? A small square area. What is a small square area? That is given. That was given to us, which is 9 cm square. So this is this. Second thing is big square. So what is big square dimension? So we have calculated in the figure that big square is having dimension of 6 centimeter times 6 centimeter, which is equals to 36 centimeter square. So now we have big square is done. Now, what is the next? Rectangle. So what is the area of this rectangle? Rectangle area. So we will see what this rectangle is equals to. Rectangle area, right? So rectangle width is 3 and the length is 9. So 3 times 9 is 27 centimeters square is my rectangle. So whole figure. What is the whole figure area? Whole figure area, right? So what is this whole figure is? This is a square, right? And a square has got equal dimensions. Each side is equal. And we have calculated that this side is 9 centimeter. So 9 centimeters times 9 centimeter is equals to 81 centimeters square. So these are all the dimensions that we calculate on the figure, and then we find out all the areas of the shape. What is this form? Formed by a rectangle. So we have the rectangle area now. Formed by two small squares. We have two small squares area, which was given actually. One big square, we've calculated big square area, and whole figure area, which is 9 times 9, which is 81 centimeters square. So we have to read or check the picture closely and then try to figure out the dimensions, the rest of the dimensions. So only one thing was given here, that was area of this small square, which was 9. And we know that area is side into side. So we deal with the situation and find out all the dimension of the shape. Now we have the second shape. And here in this shape, we can see this is again a square, which is formed by one big square. So yes, two small rectangles. So one big square is this one. Two small squares are these one. And one big triangle. Oh, two small triangles. So two small triangles are these one. And one big triangle. One big triangle is this one. And in this question, only this area, with the big triangle area, is given. One big triangle area is given as 32 centimeters square. So how to start this question? We have to find out the dimension of this shape so that we can find out rest of the areas. So how to start the question? What is given? Given is the area of a triangle. What is the area of the triangle? Area of a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle, which is equals to half times base times height. Base times height. So we can also write it as BH over 2 in simplified form, right? BH over 2 is the area of a triangle. And this area is given, right? This area is 32 centimeters square. And this is also given that this big square is formed. So it's a square. That means if it is a square, B is equals to H. We can equate them, right? So I can replace any of the variable here with B as H or H as B, one and the same thing. But I will be getting B square divided by 2. Right? I can repeat this step. Area of the triangle is equals to half times base times height. Or we can write it BH over 2. B for base, H for height divided by 2 is the area of a triangle. And the area of this right angle triangle is given. What is that? 32. So I plug in the value of the area. BH, but it is the square. So B is equals to H because it is a square. So the sides are equal, right? Because it's a square. And a square has got sides equal. So whatever the side is, whatever the base is, that will be equals to height. So now I have B square divided by 2 is equals to 32. Now I have to shift this 2 to the other side of the equation. On this side of the equation, this 2 is in the division. When it goes to the other side of the equation, it will get multiplied with the 32 and my B square will be equals to 64. And now I have B square and I need the value of B. I don't need B square, but I need value of B. And we understand that if B square is here and we want to transfer this power to the other side of the equation, it goes at the half power, and half power is square root. So square root of 64 is 8. So now I have my base of the triangle, which is 8. And since b is equals to h, that means therefore h is also equals to 8 centimeter because it is a square. And if I do this like 8 so b and h are same, right? Because it is a square. So now I have to see if this is my 8. Now I have to put the dimension because the question is saying find out each dimension of each shape. So this is 8 centimeter. This is also 8 centimeter, right? This is also 8 centimeter. So everything in a square, every side is equal. So what will be the half of this shape? This thing is 4 centimeter. Good. And what is the half of this? That means 4 centimeter. What is this? This is also half of the side, 4 centimeter. So now I can check my other areas because I need to know all other areas too, as we did in the previous question. So now I have to write down what is given. Big triangle area is given, right? So big triangle area, which was given, which is 32 centimeter square. Now I have to find out a small triangle, right? Or first we can calculate, we can calculate small triangles which are here. So a small triangle, right? So triangle area is, you know that, BH over 2, right? So B times H divided by 2. What is my small triangle? It's 4. 4 is the base. And what is the height? The 4 again. So 4 times 4 divided by 2, which is 8. So I have 8 centimeter square is my answer for a small triangle area, right? Now I have to see big square. This is square, right? This one. We have to find out square area. So I have to write square area will be equal to side into side. And this side is 4, this side is 4. So 4 times 4. So that means this area is equals to 16 centimeter square, right? And finally, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate whole figure area. Whole figure area. Whole figure area means this is a square, whole figure is a square, and I have sides. Each side is 8 centimeters. So 8 times 8 is 64 cm square. So in this way, we calculate all the dimensions and all the areas. The big triangle area was given 32. A small triangle area is 8. And we calculated square area and then whole figure area. So this was a practice for if you have a shape and you have to determine all the dimensions in the respective area. You can check this example. Hope you like the video. If you like it, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button to receive the next video. Thank you for watching.